Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if Deku was in, high school DxD. So in the last video we talked about how after one day in school where he's basically, with his friend aka, his best friend aka his childhood friend aka Issei, he would start leaving with her as they would decide to have lunch together. Well, they're currently, they're basically having a lot of fun. A lot of the members of the Kendo Club are currently staring at them saying, why is there, why is he basically talking to that pervert over there? And one of them would say, doesn't he know that she's a pervert? But after a bit of, listening to them and deciding to, just stop them from basically bullying his, his childhood friend, all of them would leave except for two. One with a ponytail and brown hair, and the other one with short hair and, and her hair is colored pink. After meeting them, which apparently their names were named Katase and Kanagi, he would basically tell them that, Issei is not really that bad and he just doesn't care about her, let's just say tendencies of basically spying on him and basically seeing him naked. Which they would say that he's probably some sort of other pervert, but, Izuku would just tell them that it's obviously just a lie, saying that he's just, doesn't care, and besides, he's, his childhood friend. And after doing so, he would basically tell them to go, go somewhere else. And so they would start to leave. As for Izuku and, Issei, it was finally the end of the day as they would start leaving. While he was leaving, he would go to, to the park to basically look at the, pond. But while he's at the pond and, on top of the bridge, he would meet up with a person. And this person seems to have, a pretty big bust for a normal, high school student as himself. And he thinks it's probably, they're probably the same age or something, but he doesn't really know. Wait for a second. Apparently, her name was Akari. And she wanted to ask Izuku to go on a date. After, a bit of talking with her and also saying that she's a part of a school called, apparently it's called Sagmikai, which is probably a lie, and he knows that she's probably some sort of supernatural being trying to assassinate him. But after saying that, instead of being like boyfriend and girlfriend, Izuku would tell her that instead, why not just become friends, which she was sort of mad, but, why not? I mean, it would be easier for her to basically assassinate him. And after doing so, they would decide to go on a date, maybe like on the weekends. So, as, Izuku basically gets ready for the date, he would start thinking that he should probably get ready in case if they're about to, if they're about to assassinate him. And so he would basically grab his, his Quinque case and would start leaving. So, when he was leaving, he would see her basically, just, waiting for him and would basically tell him that she's been waiting for him for maybe about a few minutes. And also, Izuku would basically tell her that he's sorry for basically being late. But, because of her fake persona, she would say it doesn't really matter. And saying that she's actually, pretty early in fact. Not really early, but more like came here a bit late herself. And so they would start, having a bit of fun, going to arcades and, doing a lot of stuff. But, let's go to a little flashback. While they were there, basically, having a bit of fun, and Izuku basically decides to, go to a little area to basically get them some stuff. Apparently, a few guys decide to, jump in and decide to, hit on, Akari, which, if you don't know, probably is a fallen angel. And after a while struggling and a bit of, fighting, Izuku as Izuku would basically jump in once again and decides to, fight them. And so intimidates them with his, somewhat bloodlust and his red glowing eyes with dark, dark. I can't really remember what to actually call it. I'm just gonna call them, his dark black eyes and, and his, single red, I guess you can say iris, which caused them to basically, run away in fear. And after doing so, Izuku would basically tell her if she's okay. She was okay, but now she's actually fallen in love with him, which she was not really a part of the plan with. And so, after a while, basically having fun across the city, and also, instantly falling in love with him, well, she was pretty sad that she has to kill him. And so, when it's finally time for her to basically kill him, she would start crying, saying that she was sorry, and so would kill him, using a light spear in his gut. Or not really his gut, but more like, in his eye, destroying his brain and killing him. Or so she thinks. As when she spreads her wings, she would start leaving, basically crying her eyeballs out. As she would start, flying off, she would see another person nearby, aka one of her, fallen angel bunnies, or, her companion, aka Donaseek. After meeting with him, and after saying that he was there to basically spy on her in case if the plan fails, well, Izuku decided to show himself once again, basically reviving from the dead, which they thought, as, Izuku decided to show off his abilities by basically summoning out his Quinke and basically stabbing, Donaseek right in the face. And because of that, he was able to gain the DNA of a fallen angel, gaining fallen angel type traits, like for example, its wings. But, Izuku is probably not going to use those wings for obvious reasons, and decides to just use his regular old, Ukaku to basically mix it with the fallen angel traits to basically, create new wings, which are just basically his regular wings, but a little bit more stronger and are able to somewhat, make him fly. And so, he would start, jumping around and would instantly kill Donaseek with his Queen K and the help of his, of his Ukaku, thanks to the help of, mixing a bit of fallen angel, light spears, and also the thanks of his Rinkaku, would shoot out a few light blasts, which kill him in an instant and even disintegrate some of his wings, and so would defeat him. And after seeing, a scared ass, Cow Winner, which is apparently her real name, well, Izuku decided to spare her, saying that, it doesn't really matter. I mean, she probably was, actually forced to do this. And after, a bit of a sigh of relief, she would also say that she can't really go back. After all, she did sort of betray them. As Izuku decides to tell her that, that he's, allowing her to basically stay at his house. And even saying that, because his parents are basically, working abroad, she's allowed to live there from now on. She was pretty thankful for that, and so they would start leaving, but unbeknownst to them, a person would watch them. In this case, Tsubaki, aka one of the members of, Sona, Sona Satori's, peerage. And after a bit of watching them, she would start leaving to report back to Sona. And so that was basically what happened last episode. And so, let us talk about what happens next. So, yeah. So, we currently see, after the aftermath of, the end of their date, not Belle, I meant Izuku got taken. No, not again. So, as we currently see, Izuku and, Calendar basically leaving, she would say this. So, you're really allowing me to stay here? As Izuku would say this. Well, yeah. I mean, you're basically forced to do this. And I can obviously tell that you're probably not not really a bad person. As she would say this. Huh. I guess you really do trust me, even though I did try to kill you. As he would say this. Well, I did hear you basically saying that you were sorry. And basically, saying that you actually like me. She would start to blush, saying, did you really hear that? As Izuku would obviously say this. Well, I mean, I'm basically sort of immortal. As she would say this. Excuse me, what? As Izuku would say this. Yeah, I'm basically sort of immortal. Let's just say that, he would say. As she would say this. Wait a minute. Then, what the heck are you, exactly? As he would say this. Well, actually, just let me explain back to the house. So, when they got to his house, which was pretty normal outside, but on the inside it actually looks pretty nice. With, a sort of, modern twist on, a Japanese household, as she would see this. Whoa, looks pretty nice. I mean, it's better than, living in the stupid church there. As Izuku would say this. I can definitely see why. Anyway, here. As she would say this. What is it? As you'd say this. Oh, those are my mother's clothes. I mean, I don't really have any girls' clothing that is, um, you know, at the moment right now. As she would say this. Oh, thank you. And by the way, how do you feel not really having parents here? As you would say this. I don't really care. I mean, I did had, like, a few maids basically, helping me out when I was younger, but, because I was now living alone by myself, I decided to, work on my, house cleaning skills and other types of things of that sort. As she would say this. I see. Then, can you please explain what are you exactly? As Izuku would just be silent a little bit, as he would sigh, as he would say this. Alright, but you mean to say, sir, keep this a secret. As she would say this. Okay. As, Izuku would basically tell her to basically go to the basement. She was a bit hesitant as, Izuku would say this. Don't worry, I won't, kill you or anything. As she would say this. Oh, okay. After saying that, they would start going into the, cellar or the, basement. After doing so, she would see a large looking, workshop, as she would say this. What is this? As Izuku would say this. Well, let me just explain. I'm not really, sort of. I'm sort of from the supernatural, but not really, he would say, as she would say this. Really, then, what the heck are you? As he would say this. Well, as his eyes would start turning into a blood red, color, specifically his pupils, as the rest of his eyes become pure black. As he would say this. Well, I'm a ghoul, he would say. As she would say this. What the heck are ghouls? I mean, I do know ghouls from mythology, but you're definitely not the ghoul that I know of. Or any type of ghoul. I mean, I mostly heard that ghouls are probably just, necromancers' attempts to basically create minions. As, Izuku would say this. Yeah, but unlike those ghouls, I'm more of a, much more dangerous breed. Unlike those ghouls, my species, aka ghouls, are more like this. Let me just explain. As you would explain the whole, ghouls, like, the physiology of ghouls, including the RC cells and, their thirst for blood and flesh, specifically human flesh, as she would say this. So you're telling me that you eat human flesh? As, Izuku would say this. Yeah, but not anymore. For some odd reason, I'm the only one that's basically able to eat human flesh, but also eat regular old food. Most of the time, if a ghoul were to eat normal food, well, they would probably barf it off. Let's just say back in my day, when I first tried off some regular old human form, like normal old human food, let me give an example. Let's say if I eat, like, curry, it will probably taste like absolute garbage. It tastes super spicy. Like, probably not as, probably super spicy to what it's like. Like, for example, if I were to eat, like, mild, a mild curry, it would just taste super spicy to the point that it basically tastes like I'm basically eating, like, a coal of fire. Or at least, a hot coal. As after saying that, she would say this. I see. Huh. Never really thought of that. As, Izuku would say this. Yeah, anyway. And if you're wondering, yes, there's a way to basically turn people into ghouls. As she would say this. Wait, really? As Izuku would start explaining as well. Explaining how, there's half ghouls, which, one, there's several different reasons on how to basically create one. One is, the biological way, which is rare to basically happen. Like, for example, the original One-Eyed King. AKA, I can't remember the old man's name, but he was the, manager of, the coffee shop that, Kaneki used to work at. And I mean used to work at. God dang it. Poor. Why did you decide to change your ways, Kaneki? Why you ruined the fucking... I still feel a bit pissed off at, like, Kaneki for basically betraying everybody. And I mean seriously. So, yeah, and after explaining a little bit of that, she would say this. Oh, I see. And is there another way exactly? you did say there's another way. As, Izuku would say this. Oh yeah. As he would start getting a pen and paper. As he would say this. Well, this other way is by basically taking the organs of a ghoul and basically implanting it into a normal person. And with that, there would become a half ghoul, he would say. She would say this. Really, then, if that actually happens, then, as, she would start looking at, Izuku, as he would say this. Oh yeah, I did that once, but trust me, the last time when I did that, a ghoul would be created, or more specifically, a half ghoul, and let's just say, oh boy, let's just say he had to cause a lot of chaos, and I had to kill him because of that. As she would say this. Really then. As Izuku would say this. Yeah. Anyway, are you hungry or anything? As she would say this. Well, I'm pretty hungry. Maybe ramen? I mean, I never really tried ramen all that much. As Izuku would say this. Sure, I can probably make make some. After saying that, she would say this. Thank you. And after doing so, we go to Belle basically finishing up cooking some, homemade ramen. As she would say this. Whoa, it smells so good. As Izuku would say this. Huh, thank you. And after setting up the plates and also, and putting some rice there right beside it, and also grabbing, the ramen bowl. And if you're wondering, yeah, I'm just basically saying to you, just fuck off. Yeah, let's just say this. In the Philippines, when we eat ramen, or noodles, as we usually call them, we also eat them with some rice. I mean, it sounds a bit weird to some people, like, for example, regular old Japanese, but it's just our way of doing that. I mean, I especially love eating, like, some noodles with, a little bit of, like, rice on the side. And I mean little, because, I'm a pudgy boy. So, as after grabbing some rice nearby, and also grabbing a bit of, like, some dried, sardines, as in, those, like, I don't really know what to actually call them, but it's basically those dried sardines that are super dry that they almost resemble bangos. And if you don't know what are bangos, well, it's basically like a type of fish that we get in, in the Philippines, which are mostly filleted and are basically, put into the sun to basically dry. Yeah, it sounds bad, but it is sort of delicious. Sometimes. It's my least favorite fish to eat. In fact. So, after, getting their chopstick, they would start eating. As Cowwinner would, obviously struggle with it. Because, remember, she's sort of from Europe. A.k.a., the sort of, origin of all angels, sort of. I mean, the Middle East is technically, you basically get it. As while she was trying to, use chopsticks, she would say, it's super hard, she would say. As Izuku would start to laugh a little bit. As she would say, you think it's funny? She would say, with a, pat on her face. As Izuku would say this. Oh, sorry. It's just a bit funny seeing you, trying to, try and use try and use chopsticks. He would say, she would say this. Can you at least help me? She would say, as Izuku would say this. Sure. As he would grab a few noodles, as he would say this. Say, she would say, he would say, as she would say this. Are you literally trying to feed me like a baby? As Izuku would say this. Maybe, he would say. As after saying that, she would say this. Ugh, fine. As she would start eating the food, as she would say this. Thank you, she would say with a blush. As Izuku would say this. You're welcome, he would say. And so, after a while of eating some of the food, they would start, leaving. To basically go to bed. As she would say this. So, where am I going to sleep? As Izuku would say this. Oh, you can sleep in the guest bedroom. As she would say this. Where is it? Just down the right, in the hallway. As she would say this. Thank you. She would say, as Izuku would start going to his room and would start, getting ready to go to bed. And so, he would start to fall asleep. So, the next day has come as Izuku would decide to, get ready for school. While he was getting ready for school, he would start smelling pancakes. As after finishing up his, his routine, he would start leaving, going downstairs, and would see a half-naked, Cowwinner, a half-naked cow winner, basically wearing, nothing but an apron and her underwear, as she would say this. Oh, good morning, Izuku. As Izuku would say this. Cow winner, what are you wearing? And as he would start, nose bleeding from his nose, as he would start looking away, as she would say this. Oh, I didn't know that you're such a virgin, he would say, she would say, as Izuku would say this. Well, I'm just clearly, keeping my chastity, I guess you could say. And besides, please wear something else than that, he would say, as she would say this. Aw, don't be so shy. Besides, you did save me, so why not give you a reward? As Izuku would say this. Please, just wear something else. As she would say this. Aw, it's my first time actually seeing a boy like you actually decide to, keep your chastity. Oh well, here. As she would basically put a plate of pancakes, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, thank you. He would basically sit down, and he would start eating the pancakes. After doing that, he would grab his things, as he would say goodbye to not Rainer, I meant, cow winner, I meant. As after saying goodbye, she would say, okay, goodbye, she would say. As after leaving, we go to see Izuku basically leaving with his friend. As his friend seems to be a little bit weird, aka, Issei. But nearby, when she saw, Issei, she would say, wait, who is that girl? She would say, alright, she's the best friend of Izuku, she would say. As she would start, breaking, the sort of, thing that she was holding, aka some sort of weird looking, newspaper, as she would say. So, it seems that I have some competition, she would say. Guess I'll try and, make sure that Izuku's mine, she would say. And so we basically go back to Izuku. As Izuku would say this. So, Issei, are you okay? As she would say this. Yeah, I'm fine, she would say. As Izuku would say this. You definitely don't feel fine, or anything of that sort. I mean, seriously, look at your eyes, he would say, as she would say this. Oh, it's nothing, I'm just a bit tired. As Izuku would say this, with an eyebrow raised, as he would say this. Yeah, sure, he would say, as she would say this. Anyway, what is our first class again? As Izuku would say this. Oh, math and then science. As she would say this. Okay, then can you please help me with, our homework for today? As Izuku would say this. Did you seriously forgot? As she would say this. Yeah, sorry. As Izuku would sigh, as she would say this. He would say this. I'll give you it later, okay? And after doing so, he would start leaving to go to class. So, after, science and math, we see, Izuku basically, getting ready his stuff. As when he was about to leave to go, eat at, break time with, his best friend, aka Issei, he would start hearing the door open, and some of the, students would start whispering, saying, damn, who decided to, decide to call in the, as the people there would just say, damn, who decided to piss off one of the members of the student council? I mean, one of them looks mad. One of them would say this, yeah, she definitely looks pissed. As Izuku would look over and would see one of the members of the student council. He would see a girl with the school uniform, as she would also have white hair and somewhat, grayish eyes, to almost a dark blue, sort of, to him. As she seems to be walking towards his seat, as she would say this. Hello there, Mr. Izuku. As Izuku would look over, as Izuku would say this. May I ask, why do you want to talk to me exactly? As she would say this. Well, Sona Sishri, aka the student council president, wants to talk to you immediately. After saying that, many of the people there would start whispering, saying, did he do something bad? One of them would say this. I think so, maybe. As one of them would say this. Maybe Sona's basically fallen in love with the guy. As some of the guys would start snickering, saying, huh, I never thought the cold hard princess would actually fall in love with somebody like him. As one of the girls would say this. No! After hearing that little comment from the boys there. As some of the guys would say this. At least the time, like, what do you call it? at least the second pretty boy of Kuo Academy will finally get a boyfriend, I mean, a girlfriend. So he wouldn't basically get all the girls for himself. He would say, as one would say this, yeah, finally, but we still have to deal with Mr. Kiba. Not Kiba. I mean, Kiba's the girl in this universe. So actually, sort of. Many people don't really know that he's actually, a she because, at the time she's basically wearing, a boy uniform. Just, at least not get annoyed by many people, mostly boys. But now he's now being hounded by girls, and let's just say she's not really happy. So yeah. So currently Izuku's just there, as Izuku would say this. Alright, I'll be going to the student council room very soon, but for now, I'm just gonna be doing some of my studies. So may I go there, later after class? She would say this. Fine then. And by the way, my name is Momo Hanakai. After hearing that, Izuku would start thinking, actually, she sort of has the same name as, or at least the same first name as Momo Yaoyorozu. But at least she's not a snotty bitch over there, he would say, as he would remember how she acted. She was a bit of a snothead and always thinking that she's better than everybody just because she's a part of she's a family member, or at least, the daughter of the famous, Yaoyorozu company. But thanks to the help of some people and basically, discovering some of their awful deeds, well, let's just say their company is now down below the rocks of hell. Yeah, oh boy. So, after, thinking of that, Bell would start, not Bell, I meant Izuku would start leaving to go, eat lunch with his best friend, aka, Issei. So, after arriving, with Issei, he would start having a lot of fun with her. Mostly, talking and having a bit of fun, maybe even, talking about relationships, even though currently, Issei is still pretty much putting on the moves with him. As in, trying to put the moves on, Izuku. But because Izuku's a bit of an oblivious dickhead over there, he would mostly start thinking about, the whole devil business right there. And as for Issei would also explain that she's being invited by, Kiba, aka the hottest boy in all of Kuo, that she's going to be going to the Occult Research Club, aka the most exclusive club ever. As after hearing this, Izuku would basically say that, he's pretty lucky for her. I mean, he's pretty much, proud of her. And saying, try not to, fall in love with, Kiba over there. And after saying that, she would say that she's obviously not going to fall in love with him, but she'll gladly, gladly take the chance. Maybe. But if she doesn't have, doesn't have the chance, then she would probably go for him. But Izuku would start to laugh, as he would say, yeah, sure. As he would start leaving, as she would say this. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that, she would say. And so we basically go back to, Izuku. So, currently with Izuku is currently, it's basically the end of the day as he's starting to leave, as Issei would basically tell him that she's gonna go to the Occult Research Club. As Izuku would tell her that she's, that he's also gonna go to, to the student council. As she would say, wait, what happened? Did you get into trouble? As Izuku would say this. No, apparently they wanted to talk to me about something. As she would say this. Really? Huh. I guess so. And after saying that, they would start, going their separate ways as they would say goodbye. So, after arriving at the student council's office, he would arrive and would see, a few people there. As he would knock on the door, as the door would open and he would see a few members of the student council. The person that opened the door was Momo, as she would say this. You can come in. As Izuku would say this. Thanks. After opening the door, he would see that there was a lot of people. One of them stood out, aka Sona Satori. As she's basically, on a chair, basically in the middle of a chair, or I meant in the middle of a table, which was almost similar to like a dining room table, but it was also pretty, let's just say extravagant. She would say this. Well then, it's nice to meet you again, Izuku, she would say, as Izuku would say this. Ah, what do you want, Miss Satori, he would say, as she would say this. Well, I want to have a little talk with you. But not only that, I also want to have a chess game with you, she would say, as Izuku would say this. A chess game? As she would say this. Yes. I also wanted to ask you about something important, but we can also talk about it during the chess game, as Izuku would say this. Sure then, he would say. She would basically grab, the large-looking, a large-looking, how do I say this? A large-looking chessboard, as she would start setting up the chess pieces, as she would say this. So, are you ready? She would say with a happy tone, as Izuku would say this. I guess, as a blonde-haired kid with, a blonde-haired man with grayish eyes would say this. So, I'm probably thinking, and all of you are probably thinking, that he's probably gonna lose. As one of them would say this. Yeah, probably. As one of them would say this. Specifically, a girl with brown hair and brown eyes would say this. Maybe, but I think he's probably gonna win. As one of them would say this. Really? Are you that crazy? Or did you, slam your head into, the wall or something? Said the blonde-haired man with the grayish eyes, as she would say this. No, it's just a feeling. As after saying that, the match would start to begin. As Izuku would start playing the game with Sona. After a while playing, she would start talking. So, what are you, she would say, as Izuku would say this. What? I'm just a regular old, human, I guess you could say. I'm just a regular old man, just wanting to, just have a bit of fun, maybe, have a normal life or something of that sort. As she would say this. Interesting. But, how do you feel when I found out about something about you? As Izuku would say this. What do you mean, he would say, as he would start, moving a bit of his, king to the side, as he would start grabbing another piece, and would start, putting it too near her rook, as it would just be destroyed. As she would say this. Well, isn't that obvious? As Izuku would say this. What is? As she would say this. Well, I saw your little fight with the fallen angels. After hearing that, some of the members would basically tense up, saying, Did you seriously have to say that, Sona? Said one of them. As after hearing this, Izuku would say this. I'm not gonna deny it, but I know that all of you are devils, but I'm no way going to be a villain or the, enemy of your group. Besides, I just want to have a normal life. As after saying that, he would basically grab another piece and would basically put it near, Sona's queen, as it would just be destroyed. As she would say this. How interesting. But, I'm just wondering, what are you? It's definitely not a sacred gear that you used, and that weapon was also not a sacred gear. As Izuku would say this. Well, I'm a ghoul, I guess you could say. As after saying that, she would say this. A ghoul, you say? Never heard of a creature like that. As he would say this. Well, let's just say my entire species was extinct. But I'm the only one, and not only that, I'm the only one of my species that's able to basically eat normal food. As in human food, he would say. As he would grab another pawn piece, as he would upgrade it to a knight. After putting that piece down, he would start, pointing it towards, another piece of hers. Specifically a bishop, as he would start killing it. As after doing so, the piece would be put into, I guess you'd say, sort of graveyard. As after doing so, wait for a second. As after doing so, she would say this. What do you mean by that you're the only one that's able to eat normal food, and what the heck is a ghoul? As Izuku would say this. Well, as he would explain a little bit of ghouls, as she would say this. I see. So, you're basically flesh-eating monsters that eat these RC cells, you say. As Izuku would say this. Yep, pretty much, but I'm the only one that's able to eat normal food, aka human food, and if a normal ghoul were to eat, regular old human food, well, let's just say they're definitely not gonna have a good time, he would say. as he would grab another piece and would destroy one of her pieces, as he would put it down on the, put it down towards, her used to be spot, as she would say this. To herself, more specifically in her mind, dang, he's quite strong. Huh, I wonder if I'm actually gonna lose, she would say. Wait, that means, wait a minute. No, I'm definitely not gonna lose. As, after a while basically playing the game, and after hearing some of his questions, including what was that thing which is called a Quinke, which, after hearing that he basically torn off his own body to basically create the weapon, everybody was horrified, including, the man, aka the, blonde-haired man, which apparently his name is Saji, would start, going to, going to a nearby trash can and start, vomiting, as he would say this. Oh, come on, it wasn't that bad. Besides, I'm able to basically regenerate it. As one of them would say this, but still, that's disgusting, he would say. As Izuku would say this. Whatever. But anyway, checkmate, he would say, as he would destroy their king. After doing so, everybody was just like wide-eyed after hearing it, as Saji would say, wait, did you say, as everybody would just say this, did he? As the brown-haired girl would say this, ha, told you! Hey, give me back my yen. As one of them would say this. I guess so, you won, he would say. As he would basically give the yen towards, the brown-haired girl. As Sona would just be wide-eyed saying, I lost? As Izuku would say this. Yeah, it's not really a big deal or anything. And besides, you devils are not really my, cup of tea, I guess you could say. Besides, I'm not going to be your enemy, or anything of that sort. I'm just here to, just have a normal life. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not going to be a part of your peerage, but I guess you could say I can definitely be a partner. After hearing this, she would say this. Sure. I guess we can be partners. As Izuku would say this. And by the way, no, I'm not allowing you to, if I were to die, I'm not allowing you to basically reincarnate me as a devil. And besides, it will just ruin my whole plans, he would say. As she would say this. Plans? As Izuku would say this. Well, obviously, I'm just gonna be getting some DNA from a few, fallen angels and a few, angels to basically create myself, a stronger body. In case of, let's just say, a few people decide to, I don't know, maybe like, kill me and turn me into their goddamn, literal slave or something. But either way, I can obviously tell that you're a pretty nice person, Sona, but I'm not gonna be joining your peerage. I'm just gonna be acting as, like, a business partner. Yeah. After hearing this, she would say this. I guess we can be friends. As she would start looking at the board, as she would say, did I really just lose? She would say, as Izuku would say this. Anyway, I should be going. Then, see ya, he would say, as he would start leaving, basically grabbing his bag, as, well, when he was about to leave, he would start hearing, did Sona just lost? All of them would just say in unison, as Izuku would start thinking, why do I feel like something bad is gonna happen? And I definitely don't want to know what is gonna happen. So, after saying that to himself, Izuku would finally get home. So, we go to a different perspective, aka Sona, as she would say this. I lost? That means, as one of them would say this. So that means, as all of them would say this. That means, as Saji would say this. Huh. So, I guess you're going to have to marry Izuku. As she would say this. No, this is... She would just be mind broken at that point. She would start stuttering, saying, so I'm gonna be marrying Izuku? I mean, he's pretty nice, and but she would start, stuttering, and even, say, why am I doing that? Why did I lost? She would say, and, he's pretty nice, and not only that, pretty good at, his job, and she would start saying to herself, as one of her, peerage members, one of her servants would say this, hey, Sona, can you please calm down? As she would say this, I am calm, I'm just, as she would start slumping towards the ground, as she would say this, I don't know how to feel about this, she would say, as one of them would say this. Yeah, us too. as one of them would say this. Should I contact Seraphon? As she would say this. Do not! And I swear, do not, she would say. As everybody would just be surprised. As she would say this. Oh, sorry. I just don't want her to tease me about that. As one of them would say this. Yeah, I think that's more better. As after saying that, she would start looking at the board again, as she would say this. I really did lost. Then I'll just have to marry Izuku, she would say. I mean, he's nice and everything, but I'm not really ready to marry him. I mean, I guess that's okay, but what about Ria's? I mean, she did have to force to... I mean, she is forced to marry Riser, but I guess it was a matter of time to for me to basically lost. I mean, it's a matter of time for me to lose to somebody, but I guess it really is today, she would say. And after saying that, she would say to all of her members this. Alright guys, we should probably get going now. As after saying that, everybody would start leaving to go home. As Saji is currently there, basically packing up all of his things, as he would say this. I can't believe the guy actually beat Sona-chan. I mean, she's quite strong, and not only that, as one of them would say this. Yeah, we know, but still. I mean, it was about time, or at least it was, in any time somebody would probably beat her, but still. As one of them would say this. Yeah. Huh. I guess so. As all of them, after saying that, they would start, getting ready to leave. And so, we're gonna be leaving this episode right off here. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!